And Bluegrass Cardinals among the newest members of the Bluegrass Music Hall of Fame. And I like that old tune. Grew up seeing the Cardinals on stages everywhere. And I think it was through the Cardinals or Doyle Lawson I first met Dale Perry. And Steve Day is here. They lead the band, Fast Track. Both are veteran pickers and singers. And it's good to have old friends in the Real Roots Radio studio. And the oldest one's Dale Perry, I think, ain't it?
Yeah, I'm the oldest man of the bunch now. So.
Oldest one of the bunch. Yeah.
They have to have somebody in the band that's old, so it's me, I reckon.
Yeah, well, all you guys are really of similar vintage. We all started playing about 40 years ago.
Right. Well,
and we ain't learned our lesson yet, have we?
No, still out here scratching and clawing around.
Yeah.
We used to do, I remember playing shows with you, Joe.
Yeah.
Back in the day, y'all still had your old 4104.
Yeah.
And we did a lot of shows together with y'all and the Bluegrass Cardinals.
Yeah, the Traditional Grass was the band I grew up on the road with. By the time I was 18, me and Dad and Mark Rader played every wide spot in the road. Did a lot of shows with the Cardinals in the 80s and in the 90s, and with Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver, and you and I became great friends. I remember me and you and David Parmalee picking and singing all night 2 or 3 times.
Oh, yeah. I remember coming to your house one time, and I believe it was with the Cardinals. We came over to your house, and your dad was there. Mark was there, and we had a big jam session. Set up half the night picking and jamming in the living room.
Yeah. And then after I got the radio stations going here in southwestern Ohio, you came to one of the schools here in Xenia. I had a big Doyle Lawson show one night, and you and Jamie Daly and Doyle brought the bus to my house, spent the night, and you eat every biscuit and every gravy that Tammy made the next morning.
Tammy made us a big breakfast the next morning. I believe that was at the old place, wasn't it? Had the record store inside.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, our history goes back a long way, and you've got a resume as a banjo man, as a bass player, and one of the best bass vocalists in bluegrass history. All them Doyle Lawson records, when Dale sang bass on it, that was one of my favorite quartet arrangements always. Good job.
Thank you, Joe.
Well, the last time I saw you, just a few weeks ago, you were an anchor part of the Bluegrass Cardinals for a couple different stints and worked alongside David and Don Parmalee, and saw you on stage at the Bluegrass Awards show as the Cardinals are new members of the Bluegrass Hall of Fame. Congratulations there, too.
Thank you. I was just in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
That's the way I've always looked at my career. When somebody needed somebody, I was available.
Yeah.
When the Cardinals needed a bass player, bass singer.
Well, you could cut the gig, though. You knew what to do.
Well, I appreciate that.
You knew you knew where to come in and where to go out. And how to look.
I still ain't learned where to go out in this music yet, though.
Yeah. Well, you're one of your partners in crime is the fiddler from Bowling Green. My old friend Steve Day is here as well. And Steve, he crossed paths with so many great bluegrass bands. And as a fiddler, he's one of the founders of this band, Fast Track. How you doing, Steve?
Hey, I'm doing good, Joe. Thanks for inviting us up. Yeah.
That's great. Charlet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All Charlets.
Yeah. You got a black hat, but he raises white cattle. When he ain't on stage playing the fiddle, I know he's a cattle baron down around Bowling Green. And thankfully, out of Fast Track, 3 out of the 5 have been radio ramblers. Steve have a dozen times over the last dozen years helping out, and then of course Randy Barnes and Dwayne Sparks for a great many years. Right. Steve, you worked a ton with David Parmalee, and
many years, about 20 years there. Yeah. And like we were talking, I was fortunate enough to do a lot of the all of the Bluegrass Cardinal reunions that they had when Don was still picking, and able to go out and got to spend a lot of time, with Don on that, I
tell you another place we worked together a bunch, and it's a guy that's on his way to the Bluegrass Hall of Fame. It's Ronnie Reno. You was on most of Ronnie's TV shows, wasn't you?
I was. I'd done a lot of Ronnie for 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years. I was with Ronnie until he retired.
On the TV show.
Yeah. I was working with him and still doing at that time was David with Cardinal Tradition.
Right.
And it worked out. Ronnie was a good guy to work with, and had a great time there. Yeah. Ronnie's a good guy.
You had to stay out of Diane's way just enough to get hurt.
Yeah, right. I didn't want to spend too much time at home, so it worked out with both bands that way.
Oh, hallelujah.
Beautiful.
Tell us about Fast Track. Why and how?
Well, at one time, during October of 19, David decided to, retire from music and start driving bus,
David Parmley.
Yes,
he
David
kept
Parmley.
You guys pretty busy a few years.
Oh, yeah.
As David Parmley and Cardinal tradition.
Me and, at that time, me and Dale and the late Ron Spears now, we got together and started talking and said, well, we're not ready to quit. We're not ready to retire, and we want to go on and play more music. So we
do a lot of our own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. create some new original stuff, fast track. And that's what we've been doing the past 5 years,
Uh-huh.
So it all come together. And
great timing. You start a band 6 months before a global pandemic.
Yeah.
And then, boom, the pandemic come, and, buddy, everybody knows everything shut down.
Yep.
Everything shut down.
Hunker down.
And then we kicked back in, and, we've been blessed.
But during the pandemic, though, we took advantage of that and recorded 2 albums.
Yeah.
So we recorded our first album entitled, self-titled Fast Track, and then we recorded a gospel CD just a few months after that. So during the pandemic, we had 2 new projects out that when everything started opening back up and people started coming to shows and we started having shows again, we had 2 new products to sell.
Right.
Yeah, you were ready to go as soon as we was able to get back on stage. You done been to the studio and had it ready to roll.
Who would know we'd ever be a part of owning a band, but I think Dale will agree with, we've talked about this several times, kind of one of the best decisions we've ever made.
Well, sure. Like I say, both of you are 40-year veterans and respected musicians on stage with a half a dozen of the greats throughout the whole history of the music, and now leading a veteran team. I mentioned Randy Barnes. He's been a journeyman bass player, sings any part, and Dwayne Sparks, 3 different bands through the years that he really made a mark with as a vocalist. And Shane Bartley. Shane's played with everybody in the business.
That's right.
I don't remember if I seen him the first time when he was with the Lost and Found, or before that or after that with somebody, but Shane's been around, and he knows that. There's another guy who can play any instrument, sing any part.
Any instrument, yes.
So that's a band of bluegrass veterans that have a large time every time you're on the stage.
And I will say this, Joe, while we're talking, as you mentioned, these 5 guys right here in this band, we all love each other. We love the same type of music.
Yeah.
And we love to, it's just that feel. We've all got that same feel for the same type of music and how we want it to sound.
Yeah. Well, my dad's a Bluegrass Hall of Famer, and he told me and every picker around him when I was a kid, everybody's got to fish out of the same boat, or it ain't gonna work.
That's right.
That's the way it works.
Well, this year makes 45 years I've been riding up and down the road and doing this, and no offense to anybody, but I've had more fun and have more fun playing and traveling with these guys than anybody I've ever
on the road
with.
for 45 years.
Yes, sir.
You don't look a day over 102.
Well, I'm halfway there.
Hey, let me play another Bluegrass classic, and we'll invite the rest of the guys in, and we'll go live on the air with Fast Track picking and singing for us. Dale, you're on this record with Bluegrass Hall of Fame member Doyle Lawson. When Doyle first recorded Jealous, that was a great band with you and Steve Gully.
And Saunders played fiddle.
Owen Saunders. Boy, he was a piece of work, wasn't he?
Boy, he still is. Still is. I see Owen a couple times a year down in Chickamauga, Georgia.
He still live under that bridge down there?
No, I think he's moved to a different bridge now.
Okay.